Hi, this is Monique Rhodes, and I help people to learn how to be happier. One of the things that I find with people is most of us say that we want to grow. So we want to feel more peace, more clarity, more confidence. We want to feel like ourselves, like we're not just surviving, but that we're deeply at home in who we are. And yet we resist the one thing that actually makes that possible, which is change. So we cling to the familiar, even when it's painful. Or we stay in situations and patterns and identities that feel too tight, too small, too disconnected, but we still stay. Because as much as we crave growth, we fear the unknown even more. So I want you to understand that change is not the enemy. It's the most natural thing in the world. So seasons change, bodies change, emotions change, people come and go. Everything is moving always. And I want you to understand that the discomfort doesn't come from change itself. It comes from our tight grip on what was. We want things to stay a little longer. We want control. We want the guarantee that what comes next is not going to hurt us, is not going to stretch us, is not going to pull us into uncertainty. But that's not how real transformation works. So to find who you really are, you have to be willing to let go of who you thought you were. Here's what most people don't realize. The true self isn't something you invent, it's something you uncover. It's already there. It's quiet, it's steady, it's beneath the noise. But it gets buried under layers of habits and roles and expectations and fear. And the only way to access that deeper self is to let things fall away. Sometimes that looks like leaving a job, ending a relationship, changing a belief system. But more often than that, it's subtler. It's softening an old reaction. Or maybe stepping out of a role that you've always played. It's you saying, I don't know who I am without the story, but I'm willing to find out. That's where the real work begins. You know, I worked with a woman once and she'd built her whole life about being the very reliable person. So she held everything together, her family, her career, her image of being the strong one. And then almost overnight, it all started to unravel. Her partner left her. Her job changed. Her health took a big hit. And she said to me something like, I don't know who I am anymore. And my response was gentle, but it was, maybe that's a good thing. Because underneath the fear and the grief, there was something else. There was space. And for the first time, she wasn't operating from who she had to be. She could finally ask herself, who do I want to be now? This time wasn't easy. But that period of her life, what she thought was the end, became the beginning of her real life. And the version of her that emerged was so beautiful. It was softer, it was truer, it was lighter. Not because she fought the change, but because she finally stopped fighting herself. So when everything feels like it's falling apart, it's easy to believe you're losing something essential. But more often than not, you're shedding something that was never truly you to begin with. So you're not becoming someone else. You're becoming more yourself than ever. Yes, it's scary. Yes, it's vulnerable. And yes, it often comes with grief. But buried in that grief is this quiet liberation because you realize I'm not my job. I'm not my relationship. I'm not the role I play. I'm not who I was taught to be. And in that space, your true self has room to rise. So every time you embrace change, willingly or not, you stretch. You become more flexible, more compassionate, more honest, more real. And you stop needing life to be perfect. And you start becoming someone who can meet any version of life with grace. That's not just strength, that's freedom. You stop chasing the version of you that's always in control, always performing, always trying to get it right. And you come home to the version of you that can feel it all, that can hold steady in the storm, that can remain open, especially when it would be easier to shut down. So if life is changing right now, if something in your life is falling apart or ending or shifting in a way you didn't ask for, just pause. And instead of tightening, ask yourself, what might be trying to emerge here? Or who am I without the old labels, the old expectations, the old story? Or can I meet this change with curiosity instead of fear? You don't need to rush into a new identity. You just need to stay open to the one that's slowly, bravely rising to the surface. Because your true self doesn't need to be created. It's already here. Just need to give your true self the space to breathe. If you'd like to learn more about how to be happier, click subscribe. Come and join me. As always, be kind, take care, go gently in the world.